Hello friends, do you know what has happened? Nick recently saw an interesting figure in Yuki's notebook and asked her what it was. He asked her if it was a game and also asked what did the positive and negative signs on the vertices of the triangle signify. Yuki told Nick that it was a multiplication triangle. Yuki also said that this triangle helps in multiplying integers. Nick was surprised to know that, and also how was that even possible? So, Yuki explained to him, when we multiply integers with signs connected on the same side of this triangle, then the resulting product will have the sign present on the third vertex of the triangle. It means if we multiply a positive integer and a negative integer, the product is a negative integer. And if we are multiplying two negative integers, then the product is a positive integer. To generalize, we can say that by multiplying integers with the same sign, that is two positive or two negative integers, we get the product as a positive integer. And on multiplying a positive and a negative integer or a negative and a positive integer, we get the product as a negative integer. Let us look at an example. What will be the product of negative 5 and 3? We know that 5 multiplied by 3 is 15. And since we have 5 as a negative integer and 3 as a positive integer, the product will be a negative integer. So, the answer would be negative 15. Let us look at another example. What is the product of minus 8 and minus 12? We know that 8 multiplied by 12 is 96. And since we have 8 and 12 both as negative integers, the product will be a positive integer. So, the answer would be positive 96. Now, solve the following questions based upon the multiplication of integers. What if we are multiplying more than two negative integers? Let us check with some examples. Consider minus 3 multiplied by minus 2 and minus 4. You already know that negative 3 multiplied with negative 2 gives 6 as the product. Further, 6 multiplied with negative 4 gives negative 24 as the product. Next, let us try to find the product of negative 3, negative 2, negative 4 and negative 5. From the last question, we have the product of negative 3, negative 2 and negative 4 as minus 24. Further, minus 24 multiplied with minus 5 gives 120 as the product. Well, here we have an important observation to make from these examples. The product of two negative integers is a positive integer. The product of three negative integers is a negative integer. The product of four negative integers is a positive integer. What about the product of 5 negative integers or 6 negative integers? Can you visualize a pattern here? Well, the product of 5 negative integers is a negative integer. And the product of 6 negative integers is a positive integer. Thus, we derive the pattern as if the number of negative integers being multiplied is even, then the product is a positive integer. And if the number of negative integers being multiplied is odd, then the product is a negative integer. Now, try to answer the following question. An interesting fact to note here is that any negative number can be written as minus 1 times the given number. For example, negative 4 can be written as negative 1 times 4. This relates to a special property as shown here. It means that if the integer minus 1 is being multiplied even number of times, the product is positive 1. And if the integer is being multiplied odd number of times, then the product is minus 1. It's time for us to take a quick recap. The product of a positive integer and a negative integer is a negative integer. The product of two negative integers is a positive integer. The product of even number of negative integers is a positive integer. The product of odd number of negative integers is a negative integer. See you in the next module to learn more about properties of multiplication of integers. Bye-bye.